was making an art style breakdown of Naruto's era when I suddenly connected some dots. The Shadow Shuriken jutsu is a really cool and important jutsu. The first time it's used is against Zabuza. Its narrative importance is that this technique symbolized the bond between Naruto and Sasuke. Up until that point, they were rivals that didn't really get along, but in using this technique, they worked together flawlessly in a dire situation and actually saved their sensei in battle. It was the first team jutsu, and it showed the potential of their teamwork. It's one of their only team jutsu too. From a tactical standpoint, it was the first major moment that showed how deep Naruto's tactics could go. The jutsu starts with the decoy Fuma Shuriken, hiding the second Shuriken. Then when that's avoided, the second Shuriken is revealed to be another decoy, with Naruto transforming and throwing a kunai. That's a 3-layered attack. The first Shuriken, the Shadow Shuriken, and Naruto's kunai. Fights like Naruto vs Pain and Sasuke vs Itachi really dove into this high IQ combat. Speaking of those two fights, Naruto and Sasuke each used the Shadow Shuriken again in those fights. What's interesting is the parallels between them. Opening 6 already does a good job at setting up the contrast between the two fights. Both of them are battles where the hero fights their enemy alone. Both enemies are the most personal opponents the hero has faced so far, excluding each other. Pain is Naruto's sibling student and killed Jiraiya and Kakashi, two of his mentors. Itachi is Sasuke's actual sibling and killed his parents. Both of these fights have the hero avenging their loved ones, and both have the Shadow Shuriken. In part 1, they use the jutsu together. Here, both of them have gotten competent enough to use it on their own. Just like how Zabuza jumped over the Shuriken, both of these opponents jumped over the attack, but the heroes layered it like in part 1. Sasuke rigged the Shuriken with wires to explode, injuring Itachi. Naruto had clones disguised as rubble to counter Pain's signature move, allowing him to end the battle with Rasengan. What's also interesting is that both of them blended in their unique skills into the attack. Sasuke used Shuriken Jutsu, Chidori, and wires, all of which he used in part 1. Naruto used Rasen Shuriken, clones, and transformation, the second two being his first two jutsu in chapter 1. So in part 1, they started by combining their personal skills, Sasuke's Shuriken Jutsu and Naruto's clone and transformation. Then, they were able to use their jutsu alone by blending in more of their personal skills. All that needed to happen for the symbolic subplot to pay off was for the duo to use Shadow Shuriken one more time in the war by combining their new abilities. That would have been so cool. There was actually an opportunity when they used a different combo in the war. Halo Hurricane, Nimbus Gale, Nimbus Tempest, or whatever that idiot named it, was their iconic team attack in the war. It combined Rasen Shuriken with the Matarasu. Since the Obito fight was all about complex attacks, the Shadow Shuriken could have easily been slipped in here, but personally, I would have saved it for another time, like against Madara or Kaguya. That way we can get more combo attacks. Inferno Rasen Shuriken was actually a genius payoff, because back when Naruto learned Wind, he said that he wanted to combine it with Sasuke's Fire, not to beat his Lightning. Then here, they combine. Beautiful. A new Shadow Shuriken combo between the two that mixed their new techniques, and maybe even included Sakura and Kakashi, would have been more satisfying than a Rasengan Chidori combo, which I had been waiting on forever. Finishing this subplot would have been another spectacular symbol of Naruto and Sasuke's evolving relationship. When they were allies, they used it together. When the bond was severed, they used it apart. When they reunited, they used it together again. Sakura joining in would represent how she went from relying on them in part 1 to becoming a competent ally in part 2. Imagine if that's how Team 7 defeated Kaguya. It would have been beautiful. In conclusion, the Shadow Shuriken Jutsu is a cool technique that always facilitated layered tactical attacks, but it was also symbolic of the main duo's relationship and could have really sealed the deal by completing the symbolic subplot with a new team attack. I don't usually care for the metaphorical realm of stories because I see them as Easter eggs or sprinkles. They add very little quality to the story, but they can still be nice to catch.